the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double X.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
Hey, what's up, family? What's up? Welcome to Late Night with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide and the lovely from Relations Radio and Magazine, Kimmie Kim from St. Louis is here with me tonight. Also, a very special guest. That's right, Miss Judith. That's right, Miss Judith is here to talk about her book called Voices. Oh, man. I'm sorry. She got a whole bunch of books. Meet the Three Princesses. I think this was, I was trying to read it in French. My bad. But she's here to talk to us. I met her on Clubhouse, and she here to tell us all about her whole collection, series of books. It's for you. That's right. All right, now let's get my good friend Kimmie Kim so we can talk to her real quick. Batman didn't get his last cup of coffee today, so I'm going to shut my mic down. What's up, Kimmie Kim? What's going on in your world? What's up?
Hi, Jerry. What's up? What's going on with you?
I didn't get my dinner coffee, so I'm in slow motion right now.
You don't have your dinner coffee?
No, I didn't have my dinner coffee.
How many cups of coffee do you do?
Not a lot. No more than 4. You know, I usually break them up.
Okay.
Yeah, usually bring them up in the quarters. You know,
That's not too bad.
Yeah, you get your morning, your late morning, your afternoon, and then your evening. That's how I do it. Yeah, I had a long weekend. My wife had me in the gym 2 days in a row. Yeah.
Oh wow! I cannot wait until I can start working out more frequently because I need to shed some pounds. As my friend Michelle used to say, I need to release it, not lose it.
So what's the deal? You don't have the time now to get in there?
Well, it's so cold, and that's my excuse. I don't like to work out in the cold weather. I need to overcome that.
Yeah, you gotta get some resistant bands and just throw on something on YouTube. They got so much stuff out there.
I've been working out from home, but there's nothing like the gym. The gym is my sanctuary.
It is.
Like I love the gym.
You know what?
Honestly, I need to be there at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's us. When I go with my son, we there like almost 2. We usually get there like 11 o'clock and stay till like 1. But my wife we kind of try to get the treadmill in and some weight. And, it was crazy. Speaking of, there being a sanctuary, we always start off on a treadmill to get warmed up and everything, get the heart pumping before we hit the weights. And so she, I think she picked the location on the treadmill. They got 2 rows of them at Planet Fitness, right? So this dude comes on, he walks right up on me, right on the left side. The whole row is available in front of us and beside us. And then he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff on the treadmill, playing with his phone, looking at people. My wife said, something wrong with this guy. I said, yeah. So he just jacked up my whole treadmill workout, right? All right. The next day, Sunday, we in there, ready to get it on. We're going to do the hills on the treadmill. This guy, I picked the location, but he was already there, right? So he looked cool. So we got in there. He, one treadmill between us, and he making these crazy noises like something wrong for sinus, like every 2 to 3 minutes. So yeah, it was so distracting. My wife and I
weird people.
I just wanted to get off of there and walk down to the other room. I said, no, I'm just going to hang in there. Maybe we just having something, hung up in the sinus or something. But it just went on for 30 minutes. Do you believe that?
Wow.
Ruined my whole piece on the treadmill, man.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
I was listening to one of my favorite artists, independent out there. Her name is Gracie. Gracie, I think it's Jamie Gracie or J. They got so many unusual names these days. I'm gonna give y'all the exact right name. I'm gonna give you the correct name. Her name is. And I was just, here we go. Yeah, Jamie Gracie. I don't know what we call her something else. Jamie Gracie, young lady. I think her and her sister got some nice stuff out there on YouTube. I was checking out their video, but I got them on my Spotify. And I was, because they do the acoustic stuff. It's like a combination of pop with country. And I just love the music, young people. And this guy just ruined my whole Sunday.
Oh,
But thank you for getting.
I mean, then the thing is, I mean, I understand that some places don't have mask mandated, but still, keep it in space in between. I mean, it's a whole bunch of equipment in, Planet Fitness because I go there as well, and it bothers me.
I know.
And then you got those.
Yeah.
You know what else bothers me? Then I'm going to be done. When you can do some of your routines at home.
Yeah.
Like your crunches, you can do that at home.
Yeah.
I just do the things that I can't do at home.
That's what I say.
Some be jumping up and down.
Yeah, one guy was doing jumping jacks. It was so distracting. Right in the middle of the stuff.
Do that at home.
I know.
Don't be showing off. I'm sorry.
Crazy. And that's when he need a personal trainer. Go over there in the personal trainer location. That's what the little yellow area is for. That crazy stuff. But it was just so, and it was a lot of people too was walking around without their mask on. And my buddy was just telling me too. He said, this is the same thing that happened last summer, and it happened in India, and it's happening in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is in trouble right now. They actually begging for help in Denmark. They let down the mandates. They weren't sweating people about being vaccinated, and then they went right back into a third wave. And we gonna be heading there right when Easter comes, because a lot of the big churches are opening up, and people gonna be showing off out the mask. And it's another variant flying around in Hong Kong and matter of fact, South Africa got it right now, and it's called a BA2. Of the Omicron, and this thing's supposed to be highly contagious. Oh my goodness! You won't get as sick.
Are there? And I'm gonna still wear my mask. I will be masking.
Yeah, I'm masking up because my buddy, we saw our best friend. He actually does our carpet, so we see him a couple of times a year. He was at this restaurant. My wife and I went for Valentine's Day because we celebrated like the next weekend, right? And he came in there for his mask on, and then he saw us and he came. I said, dude, weren't you just sick with the variant, the thing? He said, yeah, man, it was right after Thanksgiving. He said, I was sick for 14 days. And this is like a dude to go to the gym regular. Wow. He's all buffed up and, pick up massive amount of weights when he work out. Former police, just retired. On his back, he said he ain't never sweat so much in his life, and they had to call a nurse to come get him. I was like, what? And you ain't here find no mask on? All of them people's face. So I think COVID does something to people brain, because I've heard some people say they got foggy brain, and then
it did. It did that for me, and also I have ached. I was aching, coughing. I couldn't really think.
That's right. I forgot you had it. Yeah.
I literally could not think. I was at a computer one time, and it was all fuzzy for me.
Can't remember your password.
So it is.
Or your username.
Yeah. It was.
But then, Lady Crystal said the same thing too. I'm not sure if you talked to her, if y'all were on the same show, but she said the same thing too. She said, and she's still having problems, And it's been a minute.
Luckily, I haven't coughed like I was coughing since January, because I got it like the December the 15th. So I was quarantined for 10 days before they changed the quarantine age. And then after my quarantine, I was still coughing, and it's lingering. But now I don't even cough.
Yeah, because we were missing you for a while on the air. When I remember Shay said, "Yeah, Kimmie's sick." I was like, "Kimmie's sick? What?" But
But I was still on.
Yeah, you were still hanging. Yeah, you were still hanging in there.
I still came on. Yeah.
Yeah, you was a little foggy brain, but you was here.
Yeah, I had a fog brain now.
Yeah, I could tell.
I was like, huh?
I could tell. I was like, what's wrong with Kimmie? Everybody get different, after the long haul. My mom said that's one of the things she would hate to see happen to people, and I have a funny feeling that this is going to be something that's going to be pretty drastic, but the state is probably going to be paying people benefits because they're not going to be able to go to work. I have an aunt right now. My aunt told me just the other day that her sister caught it and they had to put a trach in her, and she's only in her 60s. Wow. And she couldn't talk for months. So now she's living in a nursing home. You imagine living in a nursing home in your early 60s? I was like, man, that's so sad. I remember her so vibrant, and she caught it. I don't, she didn't get into how.
And COVID did that to her?
COVID did that to her. She was in pretty bad shape, man. Messed her up. Yeah. So you gotta be careful out there, y'all. Not everybody gonna react to it the same way. Yeah, some people can go back out there and play pro football, but that's not gonna be everybody, So you gotta be your own advocate.
I would still do my mask and my distancing. Yeah, masking.
Yeah, believe me, if it's the summertime and no one's in the hospital for COVID, I may still have my mask on because something might just pop up. You just never know. And it's going to probably happen it's going to happen on the ships first because some of those big ships about to pull back out again. They've been trying, and I heard out in San Francisco a ship was docked because the whole crew got sick. And this was just last when was this? This was December. Yeah. All right. Well, you ready to talk to Miss Judith? Because
yes, she has an amazing collection of books.
I know, it's so much. Yeah, I was on there.
Very impressed.
Yeah, she got it all. Miss Judith, welcome to Late Night Talk Radio. How you doing? How are you?
Hello.
There she
Hi,
is.
everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Well, Miss Judith, let me tell you, this is not Clubhouse, so you don't have to talk for 30 seconds, and you can talk as long as you like. You on here for 45 minutes. All right?
Okay.
It's just you. That's right.
And sometimes I get in trouble, too. So.
That's right. Yeah, we're supposed to stop at 11 my time, not 11 her time. I'm on the east. That's right. You don't have to pass the mic to nobody, okay? There's no mods.
Okay.
So have fun. Tell us all about yourself. Tell us about your books, your life. People want to know. They want to know here on Positive Power. We got an international audience. They love listening to the progress of African Americans because we've been left out of the history books so much that other countries don't know who we really are, and they be amazed.
Amen.
That's right. Our leaders are not just entertainers and sports athletes, like Malcolm X said. We're more than that. We're doctors, we're lawyers. That's right. We're entrepreneurs. We're leaders in our communities, our schools. I'm about to preach. All right, Ms. Jude, let me get off this mic. I'm going to be right here. Listen, you guys have a great show. All right.
Oh, well, thank you again.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, my sister, for coming on. And I just love your site. It looks like you enjoy reading and writing. Well, you have to enjoy reading because you're writing. And so before we get into this wonderful fellowshipping time, I just want to thank you once again for coming on. And I just love children's books, and it's amazing that you have a collection. And I was just so impressed with it. So can you tell a listener who are you?
Okay. Well, it's nice meeting you too, and thank you, Jerry, for inviting me. So my name is
Jerry's amazing.
Yes, he is. I am a Haitian American. I was born in Haiti, and I moved to Chicago when I was 11 years old, and that's where I went to, from the 4th grade to high school and then college. After high school, I went to Florida for college, and then I came back to Chicago, and that's where I finished my college degree. And then I also went back to school to get my master's in creative writing. And I just graduated in 2020. So I have always
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I've always loved to write. It's always been a dream of mine. People ask me a lot, what made you want to write, things like that. But I just don't know. I think since I was little, it's just one thing that I've always wanted to do. So, I decided to pursue my dreams and get my degree. So I've written a lot of things actually, but not very much have been published. So earlier in 2021, in the summer, I published my first book, a poetry collection. Breakthrough to New Beginnings. Yeah. It's called Breakthrough to New Beginnings, A Poet's Journey. And then also in 2021 is when I started getting ideas to write children's books. And I, looked into it, and I, it just came naturally to me. The ideas kept pouring and pouring. And so that's how I made the Three Princesses series. And so the first book in the series is Meet the Three Princesses, and I just published it in January of this year, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited. So far, a lot of people have, everybody who's read it or who's seen it have loved it. I've been going to a couple of schools right here in Chicago and reading it to children, and
oh wow,
the feedback has been great. They love it. Yeah. So
you said a lot, and you said a lot. I gotta dig into this meal. So you're a Haitian, and you and now you live in Chicago. How was that transitioning? Or were you small when you left Haiti, or were you more so?
Yeah, I was 11 when I left Haiti, and
so how was it as an 11-year-old?
Oh, it was kind of strange. I really didn't know much about what was going on. I just kind of knew. What I remember is that we went to this big building. There were a lot of people that I didn't know. I wasn't used to seeing white people, but in there were like white people and Haitian people, other kids too. But I didn't know it at the time. But later, of course, it was the U.S. Embassy in Haiti, and so yeah, after a couple of times going there, I got my passport, and then they told me that I was traveling, and my mom had moved to Chicago before me, and so I was just happy that I would be joining her in Chicago. So.
Aww.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay, so you say you you was raised in Chicago. What was it like for you in Chicago?
Oh, it's a lot.
I love Chicago.
Yes, I love it now. When I first came, of course, I didn't speak any English, so I spent the first 3 years going to ESL all day long, and so it wasn't until like maybe seventh or eighth grade that I started going to regular school with all the other students. So doing ESL class, it was so different because it was just a few of us, and the teacher was lovely. It was fun. I remember it was just very nice, and I really enjoyed it. But then when I had to go to the regular classes with a bunch of other kids, and I wasn't very comfortable. It was like, oh, wait a minute, now I'm an introvert naturally, and I never I'm not like a big talker, and especially back then I was super shy, so I just was that kid who just kept to myself and went home and was kind of a nerd too, but also writing was always something that kind of helped me through a lot of the things that I was going through, and yeah, so that was
that's amazing.
That was one of the things I kept going.
I love that about you, that you're really international. You kind of remember, but you don't. And then you went to Chicago, and you realized that you wanted to be a writer. How old were you when you first knew you wanted to be a writer? Because I'm going to be honest, I enjoy writing, but writing was not my favorite thing to do. So I grew into writing because of, going through the trials and tribulations. What age?
Yeah.
Were you when you realized?
Yeah. I have very vague memories from when I was in Haiti of me either feeling interested in writing or writing some.
Yes, in writing. When did you know that writing was definitely for you? Yeah.
When I moved to the U.S., after, I learned the English and everything, I started going to English and literature classes at my school. Okay. And where I had to write papers and essays and stuff like that. And I just, I kind of was really enjoy writing some papers. I don't remember what they were about, but I kind of really liked them. And my teachers, they were always like giving me a lot of compliments and, made me feel, give me a confidence boost because I would always get A's on my papers and it would.
Oh, wow. So you were a natural then, sounds like.
And things like that. So, yeah, it was, when I was like maybe around 13, 14, that's when I knew for sure that I really wanted to be a writer. Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you remember when you wrote your first book? What age were you? I'm doing like steps so I can showcase people that sometimes God will give you your purpose at an early age. That's why I'm asking. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I want to show the young people that God can still use you when you're 11, 12, 13, and you knew at 13 that you wanted to be a writer. So when was what age were you when you first wrote your first book?
Yes, I remember in the ninth grade, that's when I had like this notebook where I wrote poetry. So my first things that I started to write, I remember, were poetry. And then, like that same year in high school, like also in the ninth grade, I got this idea for a novel and I started writing and I was writing, but I never finished it. I have, when I was in high school, I started writing like probably 3 or 4 novels that I never really finished because, I didn't really know what I was doing. There were other things that I had to worry about, like school and things like that. So I never really got to finish. And then, as the years went by, I actually wrote my very first complete book. I started in 2012 and I finished it in 2015. And it's been a journey of writing and rewriting it ever since. So, in that book,
okay.
Oh, I was
awesome. So when
I do plan on publishing it this year too.
Oh wow! Okay. So when you do write, do you write based on what you're going on, or do you have a creativity side where you're creating stories? How do you create that book, and when you know that this is for you and this is a hit? Because I'm looking on your site, you have a lot of books. You've been writing.
Yeah, so how do I know? I don't know. It just comes to me. Sometimes I'm inspired by something that I see, something that, that just kind of stimulates my interest. And I write a lot of nonfiction as well. And at first, when I first started writing, I thought that I wanted to be strictly like a nonfiction writer and write about, my childhood. I wrote about my, all the, different journeys and poetry and things like that. But as, I started going to school, I really became interested in writing fiction as well. So I think now I'm both a fiction and a nonfiction writer. And, I'm just inspired, like, every day or every other day, I would get an idea and, either I would write it down, and when I, from these ideas, whatever I feel really more inspired to write, that's usually how it would become a story or a book.
Oh, wow. You are very talented. I mean, to learn a new language, and when you became very comfortable with the English language, you received many compliments from your teachers, and now you're still writing. How does it feel knowing that you are in the purpose that you were meant to be? What kind of feeling do you get in knowing that?
Yes, well, it feels absolutely amazing. I mean, like when I've done a lot of other things, jobs and different things to survive. And really, I've never been as happy as I am now. because knowing that I've actually made a book, that I've created it and I've published it. That's one part of the fulfillment, but it's also just writing it and knowing that it's like a feeling that you get after you've done something that's really, really, that makes you really happy. And for me, I have to write because it's like if I hold everything inside, then, it's going to make me stressful and it's not good for me. But when I write, and especially I write about something that was an experience that I had or I journaled, I feel really, really great. So it's just an amazing feeling knowing that I'm walking in my purpose. And, the journey might be long, it might be hard. Sometimes it's not easy, but it's all worth it. Yeah.
Come on now. You're preaching, really preaching now. And so who are some of your favorite authors that you tend to really look up to?
Oh, yes. So my favorite one, so my very first favorite author is Bentika. She's a Haitian American writer as well. And when her book was the first book that I read that was by a Haitian writer, a teacher gave it to me. And I just, fell in love. And I've been reading her ever since, and she's still my favorite writer. And then I love Maya Angelou. Like her poetry really inspires me, and also her life stories. She's written a few memoirs as well, and it's just something that she's just a powerful woman. So she's my favorite author as well, and I just love the great classic Langston Hughes. Bell Hooks, these types of people that I just really, really enjoy reading them and also learning from them as well. Yeah.
I love that. So it shows that you do have people that you like, and so it indicates that, because I tend to think that when you are in that particular field, you should always have a mentor. And so that's good that you have some good favorite authors who come from similar backgrounds, because that's important. And also, when did you first, when you're writing the book, how long does it normally take you to write a book? Are you a quickie, or do you have to, is it, because some people take 3 months, some people take like a couple years, so.
Well, it could take me a long time. Like I told you before, I started writing my first book in 2012, like my first book that I actually finished, and I finished it in 2015. And I've rewrote it, I don't even know how many times. And I'm also doing an editing, hopefully the last round of edits right now. So it's, but I've also completed books in also maybe, I don't want to say 3 months because I've never finished a book in 3 months, but a year to 2 years, that's how long it would take me. And that's why I love short stories as well, because a short story can take, just one day or a couple of days and you're finished with that. But a book is like, sometimes, it just can take a long time. And then after that, it's the rewrite and the editing. That's also very time consuming, but it's also fun too. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. That means that you really love what you do, because when I talk about writing, I really hear the voice in I hear that, that laughter, that joy, that it gives you a peace. It gives you like that serenity in knowing that you are creating a product that can really benefit someone else, So that's really important, because a lot of people write just to write, but just to know that you love what you're doing says a lot about who you are as an individual. So what do you do outside of writing for a hobby wise? Do you always write, or do you sometimes take time for yourself?
Yes, I do. I take time. I love to read, of course, as a writer. It's like I have to read. So I love reading. I love just watching a Netflix show here and there. And, I'm trying to get back more outside. I think, I don't know about you, but I need to get out more. So I'm trying to.
Oh, yes. There's quarantine. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So, I enjoy the outdoors. And now that the winter is maybe kind of slowing down, hopefully in a month or two, it won't be as cold.
I don't know about Chicago. One thing about Chicago, I love Chicago. You're not that far from me. It's so cold.
Yes, it was crazy. I love the snow. I love when the snow is falling. But
you do? Oh wow!
Yeah, I like snow, but not the cold. Like when you get fresh snow, it's beautiful and everything is covered in white. But it only lasts for like a day or two.
That's so true. But you're not that far from me because I'm in St. Louis, so I cannot wait until the cold is over, because today our degrees is 60 and 70. The next week it goes back to the cold weather. So we have bipolar. But at least Chicago is consistent. You guys are cold.
Yeah, well, today was actually really nice. I think we were in the 40s. But tomorrow is going to be cold again. So Chicago, it's like, one day it's like freezing, another day it's the summer, and then it goes back to freezing. So it's like always just weird and windy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so day to day, you never know what you're going to get.
That's so true. Well, one thing I want to know as well, because you're in Chicago. And Chicago has a lot of artists and everything. So how do you get your books published? Do you do it yourself, or do you have someone to help you? How do you get your books out there? Because your website is gorgeous. It's amazing. And I love, your titles. We're going to go into your titles, and I want you to give maybe, us, your favorite book. But before you do that, how do you publish your book?
Yeah, I am a self-published author, which I don't think is for the faint of heart, because there is a lot of steps that goes into it, and you have to be very careful. It's not that it's hard, like the writing and perfecting the book, and then doing your own book cover, and you have a lot more control. So that aspect of it is awesome. But the part that I find that is hardest is the marketing of it. So it is easy to upload your book on Amazon KDP and publish it, online on Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart. The hard part comes when you have to, sell the books. And if, if someone like me, I am basically doing it all by myself. So it's a learning process. But it's also, it's something you have to have a lot of patience with. So, so that you don't just give up and get burned out. So.
Awesome. I really appreciate that, because you're showing us that, hey, you got to be hungry in this business, because people says, I want to write a book. But, yeah, writing a book is great, but make sure you're writing it for the right reasons. You want to be a blessing to someone. You want to help someone. Don't let money be your first motivation, because it will let you down. You first have to have that passion. And I feel and see, and I just feel that passion through the phone about what you love to do, which is writing. And thank you so much. So some of your titles of your book, and what is your favorite book, and tell us. Well, I don't want to give away too much information, but give us a little, a little appetite on what your favorite book and the synopsis. Because I'm gonna go onto your website and purchase one. I'm just like, wow, you have so many books.
Thank you. Right now I'm really enjoying my children's book. Right now it's the newest book out. Meet the Three Princesses. It is, about a family in Haiti and 3 sisters who live with their parents, and they, they're going to school. They're in their uniforms, and then mom stays home, but dad works. He's a bus driver in Haiti, and so the girls misses him because he works a lot. And so the girls are always asking, we miss Daddy. He comes home so late and leaves early and things like that. And the dad also misses him, so misses the girls. So he decided to give them a very special surprise to help them understand, why he works so hard. So that's the premise of the first book, and I really love it right now. And then my other favorite book is one that's not even published yet. But for my
so you can't tell us. You can't tell us yet. You got to just give us a surprise then. Okay, but yeah. Tell us just a synopsis. Yeah. So when I graduated from my MFA in creative writing, my thesis was about. After college, I went to Haiti, and I lived there for about 3.5 years. And so my thesis was a memoir about that 3.5 years, that experience. And so I think it's my favorite thing that I've written so far, because there are so many things that happen, very crazy things. Haiti is very unpredictable. So for me to be there for 3.5 years, I worked, I traveled. It was a great experience, but it was also not so great experience at times. So I'm very glad that I, have that experience on paper, and I really hope to one day publish it. Wow. So you went back to Haiti after your graduation. What was that experience like in going back to your hometown?
It was really great at first. I was I've always wanted to go back to Haiti. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see the different different parts of Haiti, the beautiful parts that people don't really, the media don't really show us. I also really love being with my grandmother, because when I was in Haiti, she was, the one who raised me. So it was just a wonderful experience. And then it was hard, because working in a completely different environment that I was not used to mm-hmm. was not easy. But mm-hmm. I feel like this experience made me a lot stronger. It made me develop this tougher skin that I needed to grow as a person. So I'm really glad that for everything that happened. And it was like I said, it's like a good experience. There were some really good, parts, and there were some parts or times that it was extremely difficult as well. So, yeah.
That's awesome. But just the fact that you went back home, that's awesome. I give kudos to you, because you're showing that, hey, I'm from Haiti and I'm proud of my country, and you got the chance to see your family, and I'm sure that particular book is going to be amazing. Would it also be on your website as well once you're finished with that?
Yeah.
Please. Okay, now you got me curious. What was the name of that book? Or how you came up with the title?
The title, I want to name it something, but I don't know if I'll be able to name it that. For now, the title is "Rain on My Parade," because when I went to Haiti, I thought it was gonna be like something completely different than it was. But I know that's "Rain on My Parade." That was like a song or something. So I don't know if it's copywritten. If I would be able to.
Well, you can always change the parade to 2 E's or 2 R's. You can make it work for doing what you do. Yeah, be creative with that. Make it rain with an E at the end. Yeah, girl, make it do what you do.
Yeah. I'm sure there are
creative
around it. Yeah,
I like that, but I do like that title. I do like that title. It's catchy.
Yeah. And, I think when people read the book, they'll understand perfectly why the title is that.
I like that. Or it could be REIGN on my parade. Rain on my parade. Because it could be a lot of ways to do that, girl. I'm waiting for this book. And so it's like when you write and you're creating this wonderful story, do you tend to add something in, or do you totally stick with fictional or non-fictional? Some people said, no, I'm not going to add anything. I just want it to be what it is, because the fictional is all, true. So do you sometimes put a little ingredient to make it more spicy? I just love how fun writers are or authors are.
Yeah. Well, when I'm writing nonfiction, I keep it extremely just how it happened. And because some of the things that I write about, they're things that are very, naturally interesting. So it's I don't really need to add anything to make it extra spicy or anything like that.
Okay.
But when it comes to other people, I do change names, and I change. Sometimes I don't want to, give too much of their identity away. So I would find a way to kind of hide that by, changing something about their features, or changing, some type of description, so that I don't give away the whole identity of whoever I'm talking about. But I've also done the opposite as well. Some people, when I'm writing about my family, it's they're gonna know that they're my family anyway. So there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, but I like.
So you could have chose. Keep it spicy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You could have. Oh, wow. You could have chose any type of books to write, but you chose to devote your writing to children. Why?
Yeah, there were so many, a few reasons. First of all, I want to to humanize Haiti and Haitian children, because every time people here in the U.S. Hear about Haiti, it's always something negative, and it's only negative. And I'm not saying those things are not important to report, we shouldn't ignore what's happening over there. But there's also, I feel like there's it's dehumanizing if that's the only thing that people hear about, conflicts and poverty and things like that. So that's one of my motives, is to, show people that Haitians, have families, they have children, they love their children, they work hard to support and take care of their kids, and also that, children are just children everywhere. They're just like every other children. And, so hopefully that would be something that, as more people read it, maybe people who are not so familiar with Haitian culture, Haitian people, they will get to know a little bit better and, be a little bit more curious and kind of start to see Haitian children and Haitian people as more humane. And I think that representation matters as well. So there aren't really enough books that has representation of Haitian children. Black children and, diverse kids. So it was important, for me to write something that I can see in schools and libraries, that children of color can kind of see themselves, being represented. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, because I really believe, because growing up, I didn't see too many books that looked like me. I had to go and read, the Jack and Jill and Up the Hill and all those type of books growing up. And so it wasn't really motivating to read, because, you're seeing people that don't look like you, and just knowing that you're allowing the children of today to see faces that look like them, because we're still brown, black skin. So I believe what you said about Haiti. They're always reporting the negativity. I'm sure it's a beautiful city and a beautiful country, because they do the same thing with Africa. So I'm just grateful that you did say that, because that is all the United States report. They don't say, nice companies in Haiti that they may do business with, or vice versa, or the Haiti country has discovered this. They don't do any of those things. So thank you for pointing that out to us, because we don't know. So with that being said, after, God calls you home and you receive your wings, what kind of legacy would you like to leave behind?
Well, I want to leave a legacy of, giving voice to the voiceless, giving a voice to the voiceless, giving them the tools that they will need to, succeed and also follow in their own dreams, and living their own legacy. So that's why I think education is really important to me, and I want to, I want to help those who are not able to get, adequate education. In Haiti, of course, I would like to start in Haiti and see more children go to school, get good education, and also see books, children's books, everywhere in Haiti, in libraries and schools. So that's really one of my biggest goals and the legacy that I want to leave behind.
That is so amazing, because not only can you showcase Haiti culture, you can also teach them English, because you came here to learn English, and you can do that also through Zoom. So you can do a lot now. You don't always have to go there in person. So I really love that about you, that you are such a good servant. You love people. I can just tell that your writing is a landmark for you. It showcases who you are as a person. You knew at a very young age what you wanted to do, and I really admire that about you, because you stuck with it. You didn't really allow. Of course, you have some ups and downs, but you stand, and you're still standing. And now this wonderful site. Where can people reach out to you if they want to? Purchase your book, and they want you to tell your wonderful story, and also share the beautiful pictures, how Haiti really is, because we need to promote that, because Haiti has brown, black skin, and Haiti is not all bad, and that's how they, view Africa and Haiti. So how can people reach out to you?
Okay. So you can reach out to me if they go on judithbooks.com. You can purchase my books from me at judithbooks.com. The books are also available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Target.com, Walmart.com, and a few other bookstores. So if you go on any of those websites, on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles, for example, just type Meet the Three Princesses or type my name, and it should come up. And I can also be reached via email at contact@judithbooks.com. So contact@judithbooks.com. And I'm also on Instagram It is Judith Annique Francois. So Judith, Judith, then my middle name, Annique, Annique, and then François, Francois. But all of that information can be found on judithbook.com or judithanniquefrancois.com. So
Awesome. And you mentioned that you're on Clubhouse. What is your Clubhouse name?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. My Clubhouse name is Judith A. Francois. So my first name, Judith A. and then Francois. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to really have this wonderful conversation with the fellowshipping time with you. And I will definitely follow you on your Clubhouse. I love the fact that you are bringing so many wonderful stories to the children of the future, not just for Haiti, but all children, because I really believe that all children should learn culture. I mean, not just white culture, Caucasian, Black, everything, because that's true history. That's true transparency. Instead of, having that myth about this is how some people are. No, let the children from that culture talk about their culture just as well as the Caucasian, Black, and Hispanic. And so I really believe that transparency won't be here for me to see, but I see it coming for my great-great-grandkids. So thank you so much for that. And before we go, though, I would like for you to give us a nugget of the week, but I want to see if Jerry Batman has anything else that he would like to ask you, because you're so amazing. You're so humble. I just love your humble spirit. You got this meek voice, but you're very strong. So I thank you so much.
Try to get those books, y'all.
Jerry, do you have anything else?
Buy those books. Yeah. Judith, thank you so much for blessing our audience with your humbleness and sharing your country, because I know right now there is a lot going on right now in Haiti with the Dominicans, and it's just so unfair to hear those stories like that, because we duplicating the same prejudices here, and we all from Africa. Just because everybody have different skin shades, but we all have beautiful hearts, filled with love. But some people just want to always put themselves high on a pedestal, and that's not how God meant things to be. If they know the Bible, they find out that those who think they're first will be last. So check that out.
Come on now. Don't just stop preaching now up in here. Oh, wait.
Because they don't know.
Jerry.
Yeah, they don't want to be in that position right now. I think the 400 years curse is over. You see signs of it now. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, just be careful out there, Judith, and we hope to meet you someday here. We're planning to have an event in North Carolina at this television studio as soon as this stuff is all over for all our children book authors. Of course, we give everybody like 6 months to plan to join us. Hopefully 2023, when the smoke is clear.
Okay.
That's right. Everybody come out.
I'm coming in 2023. Right. All right. That's right. Give me enough time for me to come out there.
Right. North Carolina. So, keep doing what you're doing. We had a chance to meet her on Clubhouse and listen to all the. It's a room where people are talking about some of their dealings with, parents and children living with autism, and these people are in a space where they're sharing, another area that people have problems trying to cope in America, and that's people living with disabilities. We don't have enough opportunities. And myself, I've learned a lot too, just dealing with what I deal with, day to day. Because after a while, when you get older, you're going to slow down, and people don't think about that stuff when they're young. One day you're going to be your grandparents, but you're still going to need to make a living.
Come on.
So people need to think twice.
You're talking now. Yeah. I'm definitely slowing down.
Yeah, people. Yeah, we are. We're going to slow down. And even I've had some people in the show who were in their 30s and got hit by cars and automobile accidents, and their life just changed. But you still got to make a living. You still have to make a living. So, and people out there, you own companies, you're running organizations. man, you can't just throw them to the curb like that, you know, because people are developing multiple cirrhosis just like that, Parkinson hitting them at an early age. You know, we don't know because we put in some crazy stuff in our bodies, man. You watch some of these news shows, especially I love me some Bloomberg outtake. They show everything, the sciences, the technology, everything, politics. You get it all in. I'm like a walking encyclopedia now. You know, just 2 weeks of Bloomberg. I know a lot about stocks and investments, you name it. They just teach you. So anyway, I'm going to get off of that soapbox right now, but people, it's about love, man. That's why COVID out here is just the world is too divided. Look what's going on over in our European country right now. You know, God trying to take. He trying to take what's not his, and that's basically what it's all about. He trying to take some resources. That's what is, and people gonna be losing their lives over this stuff. And I don't even think he got that much longer to live because some reports are coming out that he's been pretty sick himself. So he probably got long COVID. Anyway. Let's pray. Go ahead, Kimmie. Go ahead and pray us out, Kimmie. We can close this show. All right, and share it.
Thank you once again, Jerry. Oh, no, go ahead, my sister. Oh, no, you're fine. Oh, no.
Oh, Judith wanted to pray us out? It's cool.
No, she was going to say something. I was going to see what she wanted to say. Oh, I know I wanted her to give us the last nugget of the.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hello? Did you guys hear me?
Now, you going to give us your nuggets, your last piece for tonight, and your website again? Because I know people have problems with the spelling of your last name, François.
Okay, yeah. François. So, my website is judithbooks.com. So, JudithBooks.com. JudithBooks.com. And I just want to, tell people, don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on yourself, and just, know that everything's gonna be okay. Just follow, trust God, trust His plans, and everything will work out. So that will be my last nugget for tonight.
Amen. I like that. I like that. You hear that, world, universe? That's right.
I love that.
Meet the three princesses. I like that. Hey, Judith, did we reach out to you about doing storytelling? I'm trying to remember because we have quite a bit of children authors hit us up. I
don't think we spoke about that, but I would love to.
Yeah, just send us. Yeah, read your book on. Do a home video. I'll send you a clip so you get an idea how we like you to share it. And you can do it right from your phone. So anybody out there listening, you're a children's book author. We're looking for more storybook reels for our segment on Ski Jones and the Magical Puppet Playhouse. And that is our children's puppet TV show airing in 4 major cities on cable TV and your major digital streaming platforms. Amen. So little kids looking.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we have a great time doing this series. Station has called us today and said, they just enjoying it, and it's funny because I'm finding that our skills are getting a little better now. We actually a member of Puppeteers of America. My wife always laugh at me about that, but I told her it's a big organization. Listen, there's people belong to that organization got them big awards, got Academy Awards. What's the real big one you get in acting? It just came on last night. That was Academy, right? Yeah,
I think that's Academy.
Yeah. Get those big awards. Yeah,
there's so many around this time. I can't keep up with them.
but it was the really big one was on yesterday, and the Oscars too. And there's people that sit on our platform, and this board of this organization. And these people have sat down and worked with some of the big time actors on stage plays and TV series and movies, but their second love or their passion has always been, to make children smile. So they use puppeteering to do that, So just wanted to lay that out there. All right, well, thank you. We hope to hear from you. We'd love to get you on that show. All right, Kimmie, you ready to pray us out?
Yeah. I am, and thank you once again, Jerry Royce, for this wonderful opportunity. I do not take this for granted because I love showcasing my sister and others that you bring on. So thank you once again. And my sister, God bless, and we'll keep in touch. And let's go to the Father in prayer. Father God, thank you once again for a wonderful, yes. Thank you once again for a wonderful podcast. Thank you for this wonderful fellowship time with author Judith. I just love her story. Like you said, when we focus on you and put our trust in you, you give us our purpose at an early age. And she kept on focusing on writing at the age of 12. So, Father God, continue on touching the young people, letting them know that they are never too young to know who you are. Father God, I thank you so much for Jerry Royce. Continue on growing his wonderful ministry so that people all over the world can see the good work that he is doing. He is so amazing. Continue on blessing him and his family, his children. Continue on blessing him to the point where it's overflowing. So, Father God, please forgive those who don't know you, touch them in a mighty way, and continue on protecting, Ukraine. We know that we are in a perilous time, so just to see so many women and children going through this is very heartbreaking. So, Father God, I know you can step up and allow them to overtake Russia. I'm sorry. I just don't think this is right. So, Father God, we're going to continue on praising you and honor you in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm just sorry. I'm upset with that war. I really am.
I know. Amen. Yeah, some big protests going on. Even in Russia, the people protesting in the streets. All right.
It's crazy. What was the purpose? But anyway, we ain't going to go there.
Yeah. In his mind, he has a purpose. But anyway, with all that said, let's keep those people in prayer, that they know the Lord, and if it's His will, it's His will. All right.
Can I say something before you close out? I was on Instagram. I saw some Ukraine singing gospel music. Christian music. That was so amazing. So I'm with them.
Oh yeah,
they were.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Kimmie.
Yeah,
Christianity, because of the internet, has really grown worldwide. Our audience is really up there. I think we might be 80-20 now. Even more countries coming on board during this time, listening to some of our more sermon-based shows. Like a lot of the shows, you have a sermon base, and then of course on our side we have Pastor V and the Renewed Mind with Dr. Duckett, and even with Mrs. Devil Slayer, the Matthews. Doing Bible study and bringing women and men of God on the program, and even Powerlift. They have they talk about a lot of testimonials. Most of our shows are testimonial, but we're finding that a lot of our shows are streaming over there and being downloaded like never before. And I told you how this show does. This show does really well. Just think about this too. You got your Joseph Prince and Joyce Myers and all those guys on Pray.com. Pray.com puts a lot of marketing into overseas airplay. So especially in Africa and South America. So the gospel is traveling like crazy. So every place it would be the gospel. Amen. So they know. Oh yeah. Also, my boy John Remedy. I had to shout out to John Remedy. John sent me a video. He wrote a song called, I believe it's called One God. And he has video of people in different parts of the country, like Asia and the Soviet Union, singing clips of the song. Yeah. He mixed it all together. We'll be airing it real soon. Yeah, you have to check that out. So yeah, they getting the gospel. Kimmie Kim, this is traveling.
Yes, I was just so amazed by hearing them. With the singing, and they have some soul too.
Yeah, but it was an artist. We had an artist on here before. I think it was Steve Dalton. It was either Steve Dalton or gosh, I can't think. I can see his name. Gregory D. I think it was him. They told me they're booked overseas in the Asian countries, and they said the lines be wrapped around the building, and and they're not like they mainstream. They gospel, but they not mainstream gospel. And it was crazy. It's really popular overseas. And even Bello said when they were holding church and having they put some of the artists over with them, people was climbing through the windows trying to get into the sanctuary to hear them perform. So yeah, people love it. Of course, we get so much of everything.
People are hurting now because what's going on in the world.
Yeah, but Jesus' name is Jesus. Jesus' word is traveling. So that's why we're here to do what we do. We were secondary. We were secular radio at one time. Remember that 8 years ago, and now we Christian. All right. We got to get out of here, y'all. Our time is up, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget, y'all, stay put. Oh, tomorrow, I think around noontime, you catch me on Tea Time with T. Spence on, I think it's called Drop the Tap Mic. I'll put it on my page. You can check my page out, Jerry Royce Live, and you find that flyer and that link for tomorrow's show. Get a chance to hear yours truly. I'm bringing it to you, my testimony. And that's it. Come on out and check us out. The Weekend Channel will be up real soon. We're going to be showcasing a lot of our television original programming as well as our podcast. We're still building the page, so come on out and check us out on Jerry Royce Live. Find out what's going on. All right, Kimmie Kim, you ready? You ready to go? We ready to go? Here we go.
Ready to go.
Are you sure?
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double X.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
Hello, my name is C and I am a recording artist from Rwanda in Africa. You're listening to the best internet radio station in the USA with Jerry Royce Live and Positive Power 21.